Thank you for joining us on 24 Plus. I am ABC24 anchor Pepper Baker. All right, May 5th will be here before we know it, and that's when Shelby County voters will cast their ballots in the primary elections. Well, a recent glitch in the Tennessee voter registration system had some people questioning the integrity of the upcoming election. So here to calm everyone's nerves, hopefully, is Bennie Smith with the Tennessee Election Commission. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's do a little bit of setup here. Wednesday night, people looking online for their voter registration status went to the Secretary of State's website and found that either their record wasn't found or they were inactive. And then that raised awareness with Shelby County General Sessions Court Clerk Tammy Sawyer, who then raised the alarm to Justin J. Pearson, State Representative Justin J. Pearson, who then made a claim that 25% of Shelby County voters were purged from the system. So let's start there. Okay. Is that true?
Purged from the system? No, not true.
Okay.
4,663 purged from the system. It's about 0.008%. That would be, if you're saying purge, that would be true.
Okay, and the purging process here, was that routine or was that because of the glitch?
No, that's just a systematic process. Former Commissioner Norma Lester, it's like a mom to me. Hi, Mom. She contacted me because she was being inundated with concern about 25% of registered voters being purged. And she said, can you go and see if this is true? And so I ran a comparison from October of 2025 up until yesterday. And that's how many people had been removed from the rolls from that time period. So that's normal, it's routine.
Okay, and we'll get into that process a little bit, but I want to back it up a little bit here. Okay. Our Desmond Nugent did do this story this evening, and he really did get solutions from Trey Hargett, Secretary of State Trey Hargett's office. I want us to listen to his report.
Okay.
Secretary of State Trey Hargett says the issue surfaced on Tuesday during a routine system update. Then concerns quickly spread all over social media. According to Tennessee Secretary of State Trey Hargett, on Tuesday, an employee uploaded an incomplete data file during a routine voter roll update. That mishap impacted the state's voter lookup website through their Geographic Information System, or GIS. Hargett told me the situation was quickly resolved, but word of the incident quickly spread through social media.
There are 6 counties, and they all started with S. Okay, Sumner being one of them, where I live. And so quickly, we got in touch with people to see what the issue was. Once we reached the person with the file and reached the people with GIS, we were able to send them an updated full file, and within a few minutes it was corrected.
Hargett says most Tennesseans use the Go Vote TN app to check their registration. That system remained fully operational. He emphasized that the situation did not change anyone's voting status.
The state cannot purge a voter. That list maintenance is done at the local level.
According to state law, once a person provides their name, that person cannot be removed from the official list of eligible voters unless they die, are convicted of a crime, lose mental incapacity, move to another area, or request to be removed. Shelby County General Sessions Court Clerk Tammy Sawyer says this technical glitch presents a bigger problem. She learned that more than 150,000 Shelby County voters could be removed from rolls if they remain inactive by 2029.
I'm not telling you who to vote for or when to vote, but before the 2028 election, we need people to get out and vote, or we are scheduled as a county to lose 1/5 of our registered voters.
Sawyer also urges anyone who receives an official letter from the state's Election Commission about losing their voter status, please take it seriously.
Those letters from the Election Commission saying that you are showing as an inactive voter are real. So if you have not voted in any election since 2020, you need to get out and vote.
State leaders say the key is getting accurate information from trusted resources about your voter status. They say if you have any questions or concerns, they suggest you notify your elected officials. In downtown Memphis, I'm Desmond Nugent, ABC24 News.
All right, so we heard from Hargett, and then we heard from Sawyer. So just to help us here, what is true, what is false, and where did the misinformation come from?
There's a lot more calm in this one. So when I was contacted, it was a lot more heat there, and this is mostly true here. The Secretary of State, the state of Tennessee cannot has never, and will not purge or add a voter to the rolls. That always happens at the local level. The Secretary of State is a record keeper. And so those records are aggregated from the 95 counties and sent up to the Secretary of State. He's just providing the information. And if you look at the screenshot that they had it in red, there's a disclaimer there that says, if there's any problems with what you see on this site, go to your local county election commission. And so it is true that if you're inactive, there was a law at one point, and I think it's back now, that the criteria, one of the criteria that I didn't hear the Secretary of State say is you have to have not voted in a single election across 2 presidential years.
Okay.
And so it would stand to reason that if you don't participate in anything local and you don't care enough to vote for a president in 2 full cycles, that's an 8-year span, then you're probably not a voter. And so the call to action from this all is vote. How do they do? Vote. So to become from inactive to active, all you have to do is vote. And so the way to remain a registered voter is to do the thing that you registered to do. Cast your civic duty and cast a ballot.
So that 8-year criteria is a normal purging process.
Ever since we've been a county, I think it was challenged at one point, and then it rolled back to where that was. At first, it was don't give any time period. I mean, there was a time period, and then there was a challenge that there shouldn't be any time period. If you're registered, you're just registered. And so I think that time period is back now. And so you still have to manage. Like if you're sending out, one of the things I did when we were on the Election Commission. At the local level, we changed all of our precincts. And so people knew the name of their precinct. I voted 7511, I voted, and so it changed. And so it changed for everyone. And so the Election Commission sent out a mailer to everyone letting you know that you went from 7507 to 0109. Okay. If you try to go to a polling place looking for 7507, it will not be there. And so when that happens, you get a lot of return mail saying that the person doesn't live here anymore. And so that will trigger, well, this person is likely inactive. And Linda Phillips, I don't want to steal their thunder. I'm sure they have this on their website. They will say, they should have an explainer. I think they do. If I'm an inactive, what do I need to do? And so it'll have it there.
Okay, so there's been an inactive way or an inactive process or weeding out of inactive voters for a while.
Yeah.
This glitch had nothing to do with that.
No, it's just, are you even in the file? And so I'm a software engineer, so I got dual citizenship in this argument. So if you send a file over, there are 4 million registered voters in Tennessee. If you send a file over that maybe was filtered for District 9 and not District 8, then you don't have all the registered voters. And that happens. I deleted every trash can route in the county one time, so I dropped the table and I shouldn't have. But as a software developer who understands how this works, this is not your voter rolls. This is just the information of how we report it back to you so that you can look it up on a website. Okay. It's not the actual active voter registration roll. It's just a copy of it that has been sent to the state so we can let you look it up in a one-stop place. So you can go to Tennessee.gov, no matter what county you're in, and you don't have to figure out the county, you can figure out your registration.
Okay, so just to be clear, that Secretary of State's website where people saw the glitch.
That's right.
Was corrected, but the what is it?
The app, yeah, the app.
Was always there, was always corrected. And
yes.
Those two are basically 2 different places where the data lies.
Yeah, I even got some messages. I got some messages after I responded to Ms. Lester's request to speak out on this. And it was even pointed out to me that some individuals who said that their voter registration wasn't correct on the state site had used the app and said that it was. And so this is in real time, one voter saying, I'm not there. Oh, wait a minute, I am here. This is before the correction. Mm-hmm. And so the correction, I was told, was about 30 minutes. They found it. Hey, send a whole file over, whatever time it takes to download the file and place it on the web server so that you can see it.
Okay, and then it was corrected pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that there's a heightened focus on elections, and also we're seeing at the national level where Georgia turned over its voter data to the DOJ. So is Tennessee turning over voter data to the DOJ? And is there any concerns about integrity around elections? Or should there be any concerns?
So with respect to Georgia, that was a part of I think the FBI seized a lot of it. So that's related to something that's very specific that I was a party to knowledge of it in real time. So I actually know what that's about. It was about ballots and the way the ballots were stored and the chain of custody and a bunch of other technical things. I don't know of any reason why the DOJ would need our voter rolls from Tennessee. I mean, if they wanted to get it, they could buy it for $2,500. So it's not, we pick our juries from the voter rolls. So there's so many organizations that would already have that information. You could go to any voter, if you wanted to go to the Shelby County Election Commission, as long as you sign an affidavit that you're going to use it for political purposes. It can be like mailing your spa clients with it, but as long as you're using it for political purposes, you could, for $18, go and purchase the voter rolls. It varies in other places. You can get 24 million registered voters from Florida for $5. If you go to Alabama, it's like 30,000. It just varies, depends on where you are.
And you do travel, speaking on election integrity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's ask that second part again.
Okay.
Just, should there be concerns? Because with this glitch, a lot of people are concerned about whether, what to believe and whatnot. And you have debunked that this was not any type of corruption. This was strictly a glitch that was corrected. But should there be any concerns about vote integrity with these elections?
We should always be vigilant about the electoral process. I have been on the forefront of this issue for almost 10 or 11 years. Thank you guys for I've been alone for a while on this issue. And so I was even featured in Bloomberg Business Week for this very issue in Shelby County. And so we should definitely be vigilant about the electoral process. The safest way to cast a ballot is to ask for a hand-marked paper ballot, fill it out with your hand and eye coordination and a pen, and drop it in the ballot, because that's going to create a chain of custody for a hard piece of paper that you can go back and verify. The ballot marking devices offer something similar, and I did a segment explaining the differences between that. But if you are concerned, it's okay to be concerned, but participate. That is the greatest momentum that you can give. If everyone is participating, it's hard to steal a landslide. It's hard to say that something happened when a lot of people said it didn't. And so if we participate in our process, I mean, we're inactive, because an inactive status is basically saying you are a habitual non-participant. That's what that means. So vote.
Participate.
Yeah, vote.
Are you at all concerned about how fast that information from Clerk Sawyer and Representative Pearson spread on Facebook with that statistic of 25% of Shelby County?
Yeah, that one was the part that was concerning to me, because as Commissioner Lester, like, she's like, hey boy, like, she's like, hey, I need you to. She admittedly says she's not a technical person, and I'm a highly technical. I'm a software financial engineer, and so I write code for computer programs. And so she is wanting to know, like, you've seen this before, you know what this is like. What do you think here? And it was like a hard no for me right away, because I'm in it and I understand it. Again, I got dual citizenship for this. And so it is concerning that information can fly like that. I don't think that Clerk Sawyer or Pearson, Representative Pearson, did more than use their platform to make sure that somebody paid attention to it. And so, hey, great. You used, people listened to those individuals, and so they raised it up. And so, great for doing that, but at some point, you got to be a little bit more measured. Is it there's a wildfire, or, I mean, are we yelling fire in a crowded building? So a little bit more temperament is what I would like to see with that.
Okay, so No, the glitch did not purge 25% of Shelby County voters.
no.
There is a routine purging process for inactive voters.
Yes.
And then to me, it seems like this did bring some highlight just how many inactive voters might be in Shelby County. So moving forward, and this is really my last question here, what do voters need to do to make sure they are eligible come May 5th?
If you want to make sure you verify your information, go to the local election commission. We have two. There's one on Nixon, there's one downtown, and you can go and get a printout of your voter registration card, just so you can have it, know what your district is. So you're voting for your county commissioners this time around. They're countywide seats, but they're district seats, your school board member. You need to know who your school board member is now, because you may go into the voting booth and see a name that you didn't think was your representative, all because something about your district changed. And you've always been voting for this person. I remember this, God rest her soul, she was a very instrumental person in my life. She actually, one of the people in her, Norma Lester, made me get on the election commission. And Barbara Cooper, I saw people vote for her, but after redistricting, they didn't see her on the ballot anymore, but they knew she was running. And so they were saying, I don't see my representative anymore. And because of the redistricting, it changed. So you can go and get that voter registration card. If you're not registered, they won't give you one. And so that will be all you need to do. That will be all you need to do to hook, line, and sinker. You'll have it. You'll have your answer right there. And then that's the option to re-register if that's the case.
Okay. Yeah. Very good information there. I think you did a really, really good job of just debunking and making it very streamlined of what is true and false. Is you have been in politics for a while. Are we going to see your name on the May 5th ballot?
I am sworn to secrecy. See on that part of that? We'll just have to wait and wait and see. Yeah, you can pull the files and see what's there.
Okay, all right. Well, to be continued on that. Thank you for coming in.
All right.
It really helps. And as we get closer to May 5th, we are going to continue these kind of voter education segments. So be sure to keep watching on 24 Plus and ABC 24. And thank you for watching 24 Plus Stream.